What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Donut Ring AI only game. It continues. We had an interesting look into the info addicts last time, and we saw some other interesting events. We obviously saw America starting to struggle a little bit against the US. France and Japan were fighting as well as the US and Japan, actually. Korea's making a slow-ish comeback. India's just doing their thing. Yeah, I mean, Russia's not had the best game. China could still be a dark horse, I think, in the south. England, I have no idea how well they're doing, to be honest. They're in a tough spot, I think, but they're not in that bottom tier yet, so it's kind of interesting. America and India also piecing out. France and China both going autocracy, so I think that's pretty much all the big uns. Oh no, someone did go order. America went order, and yep, already into dissidence, so that's not going to go too well for them. But we'll continue. Keep hitting the next turn button. Hit turn 200 as well. Oh, I forgot. I didn't check the random personalities. Dang it. I'm sorry. I said I would. Is it in here? I think it would be here, right? Maybe not. But I need to create a new game and then check. But I'm going to assume it's on. If India's declaring wars, that probably makes sense. America doing somewhat okay as well. Maybe suggest they're doing something a bit different to normal. That's not... And Germany, to be fair. 1 and 2. Neither of them normally particularly strong candidates. And they have pieced out. Oh my god. Well, Brasilia stays with the US, but they give up Sao Paulo, which is gross for the borders. But there you go. And it probably means the biggest threat to Brazil now is Germany. Although Brazil have plenty of units to defend themselves with anyway. So it's not a disaster. And I think that kind of brings us to pretty much peace around the ring. Even I think Germany and England, yeah, there's a bit here between England and Japan by the look of it, unless this is Japan and Brazil. Someone's fighting down here, but it's not any border conflicts. So there we go, that's over. Right as we sort of head into the industrial era, and China ends that very quickly by declaring war on Russia. But I think soon we'll see some artillery, maybe even some planes by the end of this episode, which can certainly speed up some sieges, make things happen a lot quicker. But yeah, we'll focus on this. China should grab Novgorod here, and probably, yeah, Russia will be the first civ eliminated if China is to be successful in this attack. And obviously India will miss out, because it looked earlier like India and China maybe we're going to split some of these cities, but China emerging on top here. India has denounced England. Okay. Japan versus Germany, and China v Germany. Okay, China. Okay, we'll see how this goes for Germany. I don't think Japan is a huge threat to them, but I guess maybe their boats could come over. Oh, France and the US are still at war. Never mind. That's still going on in the background. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think Germany, it'll probably be a stalemate, but we'll see. But yeah, China, they want to wrap this up pretty quickly, I'm guessing, if they want to send all these units over to the German front. But here we go. Oh, yeah, next turn China should get Russia out of here, get them eliminated, and then they can go focus on the German front, which is not going to be easy. Here we go. Yep, there you go. Novgorod falls. There's a few units left they need to deal with, but I'm sure they'll get that done. Nowhere for them to hide anymore. The US has got a great war infantry and fought off that French fleet that was outside of Washington and New York. Russia and China, yep, piecing out, so those Russian units will kind of survive. You know what? They don't have a settler left, so I'm just gonna... If I do this wrong, it could go bad, but I think we're good. Kill, delete units. Delete units. Okay, I think they should be gone now. Yes, okay, phew. A bit worried. I think once I went to kill someone and didn't switch to that civ and like just killed myself. That wasn't good. India has gone freedom, so something a little different, as France declares on Brazil, and Brazil piecing out with Japan. Germany goes after Brazil, which could be interesting because they are fighting Japan, and China's certainly causing them some problems down here. This is the big one. Embargo of America proposed by Germany. We'll see how that goes down. See if that's popular in the World Congress. At least I'm not having to suggest things. Oh no, I think I suggested the other one actually. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, make a proposal. Germany was embargoed. America, Japan, China and Brazil. So all the local ones kind of said no, and everyone else was like, yeah, ban them. So that was pretty weird. Right, I'm just going to try and undo the one that's just most recently been voted through every time. That seems fair. The AI still make the decision at the end of the day. Chance here, let's see. Oh, that was a lot of damage in one turn. Maybe China is going to slow down some of Germany's progress. We've seen good progress from them so far, but maybe China can... Yep, there you go. London falls. That's a blow to Germany for sure. And yeah, China's navy certainly making the difference early on in this battle. So we'll see how this goes. And Brazil may end up retaking Sao Paulo, so that could... Yeah, this could unravel a little bit for Germany. It looked like they were, when they started taking stuff off America, that looked like maybe #1 spot in the bag. And of course we know civs like France still have plenty of space should they make use of it. They don't seem too interested. I don't know if there's many resources. There's some here. Maybe they're friends with India or whatever, but I don't know. France has not really used it. And the same, I guess, goes China could go the other way as well. But yeah, so far this is interesting, although it's probably going to slow down now. But we'll see. This is going to continue. Doesn't look like Germany's particularly close to taking London back. And yeah, China just moving in. And there we go. Brazil retaking Sao Paulo. So that's not looking so good for Germany here, as the US and France bring an end to their conflict. China completes the Brandenburg Gate. Nice little wonder for them. I'm still not seeing any artillery, as England also go for the freedom ideology, and I think they might be the last. I think Korea might be the last one, or I might just be guessing. Maybe it was England. No, okay, no, never mind. Brazil and Korea still have not gone, and America in dissidence, but still okay for now. Germany is on the right, you know, they're in the right sort of content 0, but they're still in -1 happiness overall, despite losing 2 cities. So maybe it came up when I opened the menu before, but I don't know what they were on before. But it can't have been good before they lost London and Sao Paulo. A lot of people there that would have been causing more unhappiness. But yeah, it looks like Germany will probably be okay now. They are trying to attack Rio with limited success. And is this Japan v Germany? Is that what that is? Germany is at war with Japan as well, so I guess that's just more annoyance along the coast. And Brazil v the the US v Brazil. Okay, this may work out really well then for the US. They may retake Sao Paulo and then, you know, get some German help to take Rio. And look how quickly they took that, with the Great War Infantry, of course, in particular, and Gatling guns. That's a pretty big tech advantage over Brazil, at least. So moving in, no sign of artillery just yet, although it looks like the US may be the first to get there, potentially. Rio is the #1 city we all like to visit. That may change, sadly, in the next few turns. Turn 225, we got through that quick. China's still distracting Germany in the south. Japan's fleet is now here as well, outside of Berlin and Munich. This is getting rough for Germany. Could be some more cities under threat soon. And obviously if Rio falls, then they will have a much bigger border, direct border with the US as well to worry about. Although that's still a way away, and there is a mountain here, so it's not going to be easy by any means. But yeah, Japan's boats are certainly... You know, China's navy did a good job, and then they sort of got pushed back. But then Japan came in and finished off Germany's ships. Sao Paulo actually goes back to Brazil, so they turn that around pretty well. India... You're not getting much attention, but your borders are growing, and you just grabbed the Statue of Liberty, and you have Great War Infantry too, so that's cool. France, another one, having a quiet day here, just sort of watching the action in the east. Korea as well has not yet sent out any more settlers. China and Germany do reach a peace agreement, but it certainly looked like China was on top towards the end of that. Look at all these troops relative to Germany's. If China rebuilds a good navy, they could certainly have another go in 10-15 turns. Germany does get a peace deal with Japan as well, which means the race to Rio kind of begins, because it is just Germany and the US v Brazil. Germany does grab the Prora Wonder as well, and we hit next turn. Okay, I'm sure it's like we get these peaceful moments and then another war just breaks out like 2 seconds later. It's carnage at times. Here we go. Germany didn't do too much to Rio actually that turn. There is a Brazilian settler. I do not see that getting too far. Yep, no, it died. And a siege begun and then ended. but Germany kind of close. Those cannons are sort of getting in a bit closer. The US is certainly making an effort now to land in Rio. So yeah, it looks like Rio could be under threat. Germany is not touching it still, just leaving it to the US, who are gonna do some damage. Oh, into the yellow, and they've now kind of blocked Germany off from being the ones to take this. Now Germany does some damage. Do you have planes yet? No. Okay, they do have a battleship, very advanced. That would give them an advantage in any naval battles. And China goes after England. Yeah, that is probably really smart, China. And you do have a plane, multiple planes. So here we go. It looks like there is multiple civs now in contention. It seems like Germany stuttered a little bit, or maybe just didn't grow enough in time. And obviously France and China certainly were growing in that time. And there it is. Brazil is the first civ. Second civ, Russia's already gone, eliminated. But Rio, and a big chunk of land with it falling to the US, as India, right next to the Statue of Liberty, has put the Eiffel Tower, which is pretty cool. There you go. But yeah, China v England in the south is going to be a big one. If China can win this, that's going to really put pressure on Germany. And Japan going to take advantage maybe of a weakened US by attacking them. Who is on top here, military manpower? France is actually number 1 because they haven't been at war for the longest. Germany is number 2, China 3, Japan is 4th, and the US is 5th. But yeah, there's about 1 unit in it, so it's not a huge issue. The US did just get their first plane. That's all they've got. But they do have battleships, which, as I said, would give them a pretty good advantage here against Japan's fleet in the inner part of the ring. And Japan definitely outnumbers the US on the outside, though. Look at that. Atlanta could be in trouble if all these privateers and boats come over. Jeez. But of course that does mean, if you use the numbers from the info addicts, the US is much stronger on land and inside, because they were a similar number and the US only has 1 boat outside, whereas Japan has like 30, 40 maybe there if you count through it all. So the US is definitely, even though it maybe doesn't look it over here, is stronger on this part of the map. India completes Broadway, so they're just sneakily getting all the cultural parts. I think what victory types are on? Cultural and domination. So it is there as an option. India keeps pursuing all these different wonders. But yeah, Japan had to do this. China goes after the US. I think there will be a distraction at most. That won't be, maybe some naval battles. But yeah, China's military very much focused on England. Korea v the US. I mean, that's maybe just, it seems like the US is the most hated. Okay, Germany joins now, yeah, and England. This could be bad for the US. Japan was just the first domino. France now the only one. France and India the only 2 not in that war now with the US. So we'll see how that ends up for the US. Can they defend themselves? But so far they've not come under too many issues. I can see damage, but nowhere's under siege just yet. Obviously Germany themselves just got rocked a little bit, so I'm not sure how ready to go they might be in a war here. Embargo America, that's the only thing being voted on this time. Okay, I guess one of the other proposals, maybe the civ died, or maybe it was embargo, you know, probably embargo Brazil or something, who are now not here anymore. China, not as effective as I would have thought they'd have been against England. Still no artillery despite having some great war bombers, so I'm not sure how useful that is. The unembargoing of America failed, so I'll go back to silver, which was the original one that got proposed. But yeah, the US as well, I mean, they are defending okay. Might be a scary few turns, but they may be able to pull out of it. Although I say that, Boston is now under siege, and New York is also starving, because that was the biggest city in the world at one point, and now Washington has blown past it. Yeah, New York was 29 at one point, so that's not gone, something's gone badly wrong there. People cutting off the food. Or maybe it was the other way around, but still New York was minimum 24 prior to this. And how is it looking? England's still just defending just fine. This city, I can't believe this one's not gone yet. I guess it's just a lack of artillery. And maybe England's outer ring. Well, they are only on the outer ring, but England has a lot of ships out here. Maybe that's given them a bit of a helping hand. Germany did just put down that citadel, and India joins the war now against the US. But France comes to the US's defense. That happened almost immediately, but I think that's just because of how quick it's running, not because of anything sort of deal they had, unless there was a defensive pact between France and the US, which France probably knew would trigger a war against India. That would be genius by the AI. If they wanted to, you know, not look bad when declaring war on India. They were the only civ that hadn't, apart from France, so just, yeah, hedge your bet. But yeah, France should be able to distract India now, so that should see these Indian units get caught out in the middle of the ring. So there you go, things are set up very nicely. I have no idea who's going to win now. I think China, France, Japan, America and Germany all have a shot, you know, depending how things go. India and England are certainly going to be interesting as well, and I'm sure Korea will play some part as well. But yeah, that's been a great episode, so I hope you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below if you have, or if you haven't, and let me know why. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.